Hello and welcome back. If this is your first time here, I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education, and in this video I want to talk about Meta because they moved big time, and I think that there's very keen information to pay attention to with that earnings call that is really informative for at least one other company, although the market's up today. So I think that speaks for other companies as well, especially where big tech is concerned. And then I have three companies for you that I'd like to talk about their earnings coming up and the moves that I expect with their stock prices as a result of those earnings. With that said, I have a question for you. This comes from my oldest daughter from when she was a toddler. She asked me the question, what is a dog's favorite sport? Wrestling, because it's rough. I gotta ask you, did you watch my videos where I mentioned Meta and the movement that it could possibly make and that movement that we saw? I said at least 5% in either direction, and well, we got more than that. We will look at the charts for that, and I want to give more commentary on Meta. And so in this video, I will be showing you the Moomoo app and using my link down in the description, get up to 16 free stocks. So please keep that in mind. So let's bring up the chart for Meta. Actually, as a matter of fact, I know this is going to be kind of busy to show this, but I'll pick out the key information for you and I will read off that information. So here we go. In the Moomoo app, if you go to markets, you can actually choose NQ100, which is the NASDAQ 100. And I apologize for the small font size, but like I said, I can read this off to you. As a matter of fact, if we go to this, we can increase the font size a little bit, but it also messes with my order. So there we go. Meta, we got it right here. They are up 8% as of right now, as of the recording of this video. So putting us up over $320 per share. So for that, one of the big things that we had for Meta was talking about the advertising spend that they received from advertisers and how that helped out their profitability, and that AI was really behind that. So we know that Apple sort of gave the users the option to opt out of being tracked for ads. Well, Facebook is learning how to get around that through the use of AI. Not necessarily that they're tracking the person, but that they're better able to target people without knowing the specifics about them by using generative AI techniques. And so what do they use for that generative AI? So let me bring it back here. Can you think of any other company that I talked on here, or maybe a stock market sweetheart, or the word that they like to use in the media is stock market darling for AI, or the hardware component of generative AI? That's right, it's our friend NVIDIA. And so let me bring up Chrome, and then I will show you this article that goes all the way back to April. So let me put that up there, switch it over here. Inside Meta's scramble to catch up on AI. So they were using CPUs, which NVIDIA has been going on for a long time about how just inefficient, slow it is to use CPUs, and the fact that GPUs, their H100s, for example, do so much better with those AI workloads than CPUs do, that they're just much more efficient at getting the work done. And if we go down and just read just a few things from this, it says that the company was late to adopt AI-friendly hardware. Significant gap exists on AI software. And then remember, this is from April, going back to April, and it says custom AI chip scrapped. New, more ambitious chip planned. Generative AI is now compounding companies catch capacity crunch. So that's good. So AI being key to facing the competition, such as what they have through TikTok, bringing in their Reels to Instagram, and the Reels also integrating into Facebook, and the monetization of those things is really bringing the creators to that space, advertisers to that space, and really Facebook Meta is standing to capitalize on those things. And then NVIDIA being at the heart of that AI is also good for NVIDIA. And just in case you missed it in my other videos, I do have my NVIDIA stock price prediction and my NVIDIA earnings forecast available over at the Patreon that is down in the description. And I think that I was highly excited to put it out, and I'm highly excited for my Patreon members to look through that and let me know what they think about it. And I know that I have several people over there that are really looking forward to those earnings. So for NVIDIA, if we go down here, they are up at 3% today. They're up at almost $470 per share. And what I said about NVIDIA is that between now and their earnings on August the 23rd, that we could possibly see them as low as 400. It looks like we might not be touching that given what we heard about earnings so far. And that can also be good for Amazon's earnings that are also coming out, who also use NVIDIA and their servers as well for their AI tasks. So Amazon also up today. So all this circles back to infrastructure, to NVIDIA, and their earnings, like I said, August the 23rd. So really super excited about that. And let me then move on from there to some of the other companies that I have. So I do want to go over to Intel, which reports earnings in the after hours today. And I said in my previous videos that we can see them going up over 36, and we can see them going down below 33 from where it currently sits right now at $34.40 as of the time of this recording. So I think that we're going to have at least a 5% move in either direction for Intel. Either play that as you will or don't play it as you will, or just sit back and watch it. But I do expect that we get at least a 5% movement from Intel, and it's really hard to tell which way Intel is going to go on this one. We do know that they have a lot of restructuring going on, and that they have a name to uphold and a name to keep for themselves to sort of polish up again and really show themselves as leaders in the chip making space. So Intel, still really great, still has a huge business going, still has a lot of contracts going for them. They're definitely not going to go away anytime soon, but they do need to continue to prove their staying power. And so that's what we want from NVIDIA. So they have recently come off their bottom, going all the way back to October, where the market did bottom out, sort of correcting from there. But still, when you look and see, they have yet to reclaim some of these other heights that they had and join the rest of the market rally, even though they are currently in a bullish channel. And right now, sort of trading sideways in the middle of that channel, leaving up to speculation as to which way it's going to go. So like I said, those earnings are in the after hours for the market for NVIDIA, for Intel. INTC is that ticker symbol, by the way. And the next one that I have for you, also in the after hours, is Enphase. And this one is one that I think is going to show us over time that it can be a grower. I know that this is one of the Meet Kevin favorites for those of you who watch his show. And it's been sort of trading up. It's been struggling with its 50-day. As a matter of fact, right now it's trading down below its 50-day. SunPower did not have strong earnings. It's something that really weighed down in the after hours on Enphase. And so we'll see if Enphase also reports that same thing, or if they had an excellent quarter. They have put in solid beats over time with revenue, with earnings. And so we'll see if we get those beats, and it is possible. It puts us, honestly, this is one that it's about 8 to 10% in either direction, up or down, based on if we get really good beats and strong guidance, or if we get weak revenue, weak earnings, and meager guidance, or not a very strong outlook from here through the rest of 2023, for example. So we really want to hear for them, but I'm not putting this out here because I know the direction. I'm putting this out here because I believe it's going to be a big move in the after hours from Enphase, that I don't think whatever news we get from them is going to be taken lightly. Right now in the RSI, we've had building momentum based on what we've had previously over the past several months, and we're sort of flirting with the idea of being bullish again, but we just can't quite keep that 50-day, and I think that earnings are going to be that determinant whether we keep the 50-day and finally push on to 200, or if we break that 50-day and kind of drop back down below this to, or at least to support, if not below it, of about $155. So 155 up to 190, that's the range that we're looking at. I think it's going to be a big move from Enphase. The last one that I have for you is my friend SOFI. SOFI can move about 12% in either direction. So their earnings are in the pre-market hours on Monday, which means that if you're going to do a volatility play with options with something like a long straddle, a long strangle, that you have to eat that time value, which is not a good thing. Time value will bleed away from you should you enter those options on Friday, because you will not get a chance to do it prior to Monday. So one way that you can mitigate that is by going with slightly longer options where that time value doesn't bleed away as quickly. And it's going to be tougher for people to play that short-term game. And maybe it's enough movement to really, if we get that 12% in either direction and do that long straddle where you straddle the price of like $9.50 or $10, wherever it ends up tomorrow, maybe $9, I don't know, but whatever's closest to it, and you do that long straddle, for example, you have to eat that weekend time, because it doesn't matter. That time is still bleeding away, even though they're not tradable throughout the weekend and in the pre-market. So high risk for options in the first place, high risk when you do short-term options, when you're the buyer of those options, and time value is something that with those short options, it bleeds away exponentially higher. So that's the risk that you face with short term. So if you wanted to play something like this, if you do your research, something that you want to get into, then longer term options might be that thing to you where that time value is not going to bleed away as quickly. So SOFI, 12% in either direction. So if we click on this tool that we have right here and go to the current price and see what 12% looks like, 12% puts us up to $10.80 per share following earnings. Or if we go 12% to the downside on this, that puts us down to about $8.50 per share. So that's what we're looking at for SOFI following their earnings that take place in the pre-market hours. There's always market bias, and there's never any guarantee that we're going to get these moves. Google worked out the way that I thought it would. Meta worked out the way that I thought it would. Intel kind of small at about 5%. And then what we have for Enphase a little bit bigger, 8, 9%, not quite 10%, but maybe. We'll have to see there how wonderful or how dismal those earnings and the guidance are coming from Enphase. And then for SOFI, if I had to guess a direction on this one, I think based on the shape that we see in the graph and the momentum that they currently have with the growth of their company and student loans finally entering repayment as the moratorium has ended. So Q3 will start to see the student loan repayment. Q4 should be even better with that. I think that there's going to be a lot of positive catalysts coming up for SOFI, and I think that it is highly possible that we break to the upside. So if I was going to pick a direction for any of these, I'd pick a direction for SOFI, and I think it would be to the upside. However, I think that with that 12% in either direction, that's enough volatility that we could take some sort of option advantage here and play the volatility. You would go lower risk by doing that, which means lower reward. Higher risk would be to go in just one of those directions, and maybe it goes that way, maybe it doesn't. So, if you don't really have a leading edge one way or another, that you haven't done enough work to get there to make that call, options might not be that play, because that's something you don't want to mess with, because you can lose your capital very, very super quickly, tens of percents or even hundreds of percents. It depends on how you're playing those options and everything. Like a single day, options can make wild swings that the stocks themselves just don't make in a single day. So let me know what you guys think of Meta, of their earnings down in the description. What do you think about NVIDIA coming up? What do you see for NVIDIA? Because I'm really excited about that one. Like I said, I did extensive work on my earnings forecast for NVIDIA that's available over at the Patreon right now. And then also, my NVIDIA stock price predictions also there. Don't forget about Intel, Enphase, SOFI. What do you guys think about those three companies and their earnings? Are you currently in a position to capitalize on those? Are they ones that you're thinking about? Are they ones that you wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole? Put all that down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you and really have that conversation going. If you guys would like deeper conversations and get access to my exclusive content, my watch list that's over at the Patreon right now, that link for the Patreon is down in the description. And I did say that I would tell you about the 16 free stocks from Moomoo, and I tried to keep this as inobtrusive as possible. So 16 free stocks for those of you who are very interested in not only supporting yourself, but also supporting this channel further. So you can sign up using the link down in the description. And with my link, these deposit levels of $100 or more get you free stocks and a $50 cash reward. You get 5 free stocks for that $100 deposit, 15 free stocks for a $1,000 and $5,000 deposit, and 1 free share of Tesla or EXPE at that $5,000 deposit level. In Tesla, I'm super bullish on Tesla. I've done extensive work on them, more work than I've even done on NVIDIA. That is also available over at the Patreon if you want to go and check that out. But that free share, should it be of Tesla, that's something that Elon has mentioned, seeing it go on a path to 5x its current price. And that's also something that by 2030 that I also have out of EXPA. I haven't done the work on that one, but also a great company as well. So those opportunities exist for you. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like the video if you haven't. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of my content. Hit that notification bell to see anytime that content posts. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.